So the second quarter-final of the Scottish Open, and it's Xiao Guodong to break, and this could be a cracker. They've got a lot to live up to after the first match, where Baize came through 5-4 over Chris White.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dave, and everyone watching. A terrific lineup, isn't it, for these quarterfinals? Such attractive snooker being played.
92, so 4 whopping frame-winning contributions to get that one very quickly. He's definitely continue it here with victory in Edinburgh.
Yes, and it's 2-0 to Xiao Guodong on the head chairs, but albeit close. But we are seeing improved players. Chris Wakelin, I know he lost in that last match. He's won. Massively improved with the experience. Just came from the middle rankings, and well, Xiao Guodong was slightly ahead of him on that score. Not much ahead. He looks a real force these days. If he can get through today, he will be. It's been sort of too many times where he's just made a fleeting appearance at every event virtually since he became world champion here today. So maybe a little change of fortune for Luca Brecel. That plant went...
well, it could be a massive error early on. It's given Brecel this opening opportunity. The 2 centuries he's made in the tournament are actually the only 2 he's made all season.
Can engineer a chance out of not very much. He's always been the same. Bit of a one-off, isn't he, the way he goes about his business. But he's always had a terrific eye. Plays the shot, doesn't get too technical. In a sport where it's easy to become a little too studious.
Yes, he's trying to work it out. I mean, he doesn't turn much down. If he does win today...
20.
He handled that well because it was not part of his initial...
We've seen Karen Wilson adjust really well to being world champion. What happened to you and all the demands on you? And I think Luca is quite a shy lad in general. Obviously didn't, you know, take to that.
34.
Could move those 2 reds on the left on the cushion here. They're kind of in the line of fire from this shot. Yeah, but not moving it into a...
41.
Good recovery shot though, because I don't think when he played the shot before he knew that. This is very awkward cueing. Beautiful shot, and it really is. There's the pink wrist.
Luca Brecel. 47.
And he could have played to get it under the cushion. That was, I mean, you'd like to think that Luca laid that trap, but that would be taking it too far.
Superb. You can tell he's been putting the work in of late.
It was a superb raid, wasn't it? I mean, that's one thing you can say. The frame's not won yet. Maybe looking at pushing the black safe, or certainly trying to keep balls away from their natural positions. It's a good lead, 47 points, and with this table, well, things are looking up now.
One.
Well, that sort of unconfused them, that plank, didn't it?
It did, and he didn't even look at it. I don't think he came round to look at the angle. He just knocked it in at the plant anyway. But I think we can expect a good match with a lot of shots being played. Creative shots. Look at this. That's a little unlucky. No, in fact, that's... Clever shot, really. There is a way back into it.
One.
That was a big surprise. The frame
Xiao
surely...
Guodong.
But I think Brecel has set a very interesting tone here, because he's come out swinging his cue, and that in itself can be quite intimidating.
Luca Brecel 1.
3 snookers needed. He's in one already. Black tied up. It's not exactly looking promising, this.
One.
Very confident start from Belgium's Luca Brecel. Remember, this is his only second ranking quarter. But there's definite good signs about his general. We've seen that in the first frame. He's been very attacking and has done enough to take it.
Luca Brecel 7.
This second quarter final at the Scottish Open, 1-0.
Thank you,
in the
frame
second
2.
quarter-final
Luca
here
Brecel to
at
break.
the Scottish Open. Wu Yiza awaiting the winner. He's beaten Chris Wakelin 5-4. Of course, Brecel is still very much in the world's top 8, number 7. But as we've been saying for a while now, when his World Championship points come off at the end of the season, he loses 500,000 points, and then he does sink like a stone. So the moment in the rest of the campaign, not least the Crucible itself, where he will still be seeded.
Looks like he's playing off the red just next to the pink ball. He's got to play a thick safety shot, swinging the cue ball round. I think with Luca, almost every shot he plays, he plays anything negative. It's not really ever been his style of play. Well, this will be another tester for him. I think he might. Yeah, and Xiao Guodong's going to have to brush up on his safety, because Luca is just things that make me think his game is being turned around, which is a concern for Guodong.
Sort of someone challenging you to jog around the park and then going off like Usain Bolt. I mean, what do you do? What you do is you pick up on misses like that. That was unexpected.
6.
Is Xiao Guodong's chance maybe just to settle down now into this match after the roll.
One.
How hard it is to not only get him but stay him. But so he won't be at the Masters, but of course he can get back in. Way to win this tournament.
Yes, I mean, he's not losing many points, is he, from the season? Winning then. So he's got a lot of points that go forward. On the 2-year list,
6.
I'm sure, as it develops over the next few months, he'll get back in.
Neil Robertson. Actually, Sean Murphy at the moment is provisionally outside on that list.
Thirty.
Not prepared to take any sort of a risk at a
Xiao
pot
Guodong.
there.
19.
But not particularly hurtful contribution. Slightly different prospect if you've got your hand on the table, though, to play that red than where Guodong was to get a bit of fizz on the cue ball here, bringing it back for a colour. Well, a bit, I said.
Four.
To be on, I'm not sure. I'd say not. It's a good shot.
Five.
That's a nice recovery.
Supporters of Luca Brecel here. Well, he's on the red to left.
12.
It's kind of how he plays, isn't it? It is, as I say, death or glory stuff. The rents as well. He's an absolute joy to watch.
I
think the biggest example of that is that his debut.
It's not quite on target. Just sort of found that little.
I think there's a further example of how.
Well, he's overhit this by some distance.
29.
Table's not been.
Sort of frowns when things have gone a little strangely on the table. Sure, the conditions are great.
Luca Brecel,
Here in Edinburgh.
29.
I think we've been treated to a good week of snooker so far.
For any of them, Tom Ford still going after his shootout victory last weekend.
They knew the keyboard was going to a safe area. Wasn't entirely sure about the red when he missed it.
Foul. Miss. Xiao Guodong, 5.
So can Xiao Guodong take advantage of this opening now it's come along? As I say, she scored so heavily against Maguire in the last round.
1.
This is his best chance so far in this match to get a frame one. There's only a few expecting to leave it safe, trying to hit that red by the blue. Oh, just.
Eight. $15.
Don't know whether either are potable.
22.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that low, you have to be perfectly on it. I think he is. Doesn't want to push the other edge safe here. That's one thing he would not want to happen.
$29.
Very well. The lead is growing.
Well, despite that, he only needs 2 more pots here to win the frame.
36.
Different styles, really, a chance, and this is the result of it. This green for 1 each. Well, we're going to get another 9-frame thriller as we had between at the various matchups before play began today.
$41. $44. $48. $53.
Well, this is what he needed, some table time just to get used to this main match table and playing in this big match, the latest in a long line of them this season for Xiao Guodong. Pink stays out, so the break ends at 53. And he levels up at 1 each. First to 5 to play Wu Yize in the semi-finals on Saturday. Dong making that 53 to establish himself in the second quarter final here at the Scottish Open. Luca Brecel won the title in 2021. He just lost in the UK final, and the event began the next day, but kept up the good form, beat John Higgins in the final.
Thank you.
Some of the best, I think. I left the half ball shot for nothing red here. Good cue ball from Brecel in return. Again, it's a nice line in behind the yellow. This not quite there, but it's still well played.
I think we've already seen the safety is going to be important, because in the chance he got, he made 53 from. You've seen Brecel very confident coming out, having a go at shots. Trying to keep him tight here. Yeah, nice safety from Brecel, and it's a side of the game you don't always think about with him, but of course, one way to shut everyone up, win a tournament.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was delighted when he became world champion. I thought it was brilliant, and I suppose the honeymoon period sort of loving himself on track now. Not just because he's winning a few matches, it doesn't even feel like that. He's back in the snooker fold, it seems to me, which is great to see. Anyway, that's not the perfect safety shot. Needs to be on this green with an angle. Does not want to be straight on it. There's your answer. He thinks not.
Xiao Guodong, 1.
Second prize, that, the snooker. Nice shot. Good escape that, even Guodong acknowledges that.
It's a good safety, but it could help as well because the black is free now.
A shot potentially in behind the green would be an ideal shot here. He's gone too wide for that. Green is the target ball, I think, in this exchange. Looks good, doesn't it? Looks very good. It's a beauty. He might be able to get to a couple of the reds down the right, but not. Haven't seen it again. I actually think the red went directly, because in this frame. Trouble is 20 minutes of safety and you're not exactly... Oh, he didn't want to go into the brown straight away. That'll disappoint him greatly.
Five.
Yeah, not the greatest flick off the black, that. A scoring chance
Yeah.
that it's just sort of gone wrong positionally.
Xiao Guodong.
That might have been going towards the left middle, but for the double kiss.
One.
Well, it's some sort of chance. You can get, obviously, the black is back on its spot, but these reds still need some attention.
Nine. $70.
It's a really good shot against the nap of the cloth, rolling it.
Yeah, it
So
was
good on.
just hard to
21.
keep. 38 minutes since Brecel's last pot. But that clock can stop now.
Nine.
At least there's an exchange, which isn't all about safety.
17. $25.
He can then disturb the four reds from it.
33.
I mean, the blue was... Oh, goodness, he's one of those frames.
Luca Brecel, 38.
Is it deemed that he has already hit one because it's touching a red? Yeah, he's left a bit of a...
1. Nine.
Now he's got to formulate a plan to get from the right angle.
$17.
And still end up behind the red. It's not bad. Oh, he doesn't want to be over the top of the pink. It's the last thing.
From Xiao Guodong.
Xiao Guodong,
It's
24.
one of the line of the shot very easily. In this frame, I think. The other end, colours that he could hide behind one of them. Hit this and lay a snooker of his own the way the frame's gone. Well, there you are, that'll do. It's kind of all happening, yet nothing.
So much effort put in by both players. Whoever fails to win the frame, you're going to have to try and pick themselves up immediately. Hang on, where's the red? Oh, nearly in is the answer. Well,
His own. Ronnie hasn't done, so. Brecel with some.
.42 this frame. And still to be resolved. Yellow's gone towards the baulk cushion, which doesn't necessarily help.
It's no fun. I think he's going to refuse the shot. Well, that's not one of his better safeties. So in a frame where the balls have run horribly, I like that shot.
Luca Brecel,
I mean, I think that the snooker shouldn't be that threatening, but it was for places there, but it was still a clever shot.
Yeah, and it just illustrated that, you know, he's still thinking good in a long frame. More evident.
Yeah, and also just tolerance of a frame like this. You know, we've seen one or two players this week who don't look like a battle. Luca now, he's not one of those anymore.
Well, let's remember, Neil, when he lost to Dave Gilbert at the Crucible in that decider, you know, he only needed one snooker, didn't he? And he conceded. Just had enough, but he's not had enough of this frame yet, clearly.
Yes, it was almost as if he had enough of being world champion, wasn't it? But I'm sure somewhere in there he'd love to win it again one day. I'm sure he didn't play it like that, you know. He may get a bit of applause. I don't think that was... Well, all the brilliance of Luca, again, the pink.
two.
It's a risky shot, that is. It's a risky shot.
Luca Brecel, 2.
So Xiao Guodong needs green, brown and blue.
Three.
He just sort of knew it was never going to be that straightforward. You know, what a thing to happen.
Well, that is as bad a shot I think I've seen him play for that.
Well, what a strange old do. So Xiao Guodong, I mean, the pink was safe, so he had... Well, brown and blue is what he needs to win this epic frame.
Four.
Yeah, I mean, he started off the balls went awkwardly, but then they've both played some, I'm going to say tired shots, but...
9.
He'll just be relieved in the end. Not a classic frame, but they all count the same. 50 minutes this has been.
Yep. Xiao Guodong, 9 in the frame.
And it's gone to Xiao Guodong. My word, it took some winning, but he leads here 2-1. Did for the bar.
Foul. One.
Red below the black, but he hasn't done it.
Xiao Guodong, 6. 1.
Yeah.
Nine.
Albeit that was a very late match.
Of the ball, you know, as I said earlier, he gets that cue ball zipping around when he's playing well.
14.
Some of his screw shots and stun shots are absolutely outstanding. Yeah, this time he's got a little...
20.
Oh, no. Well.
Just a reminder, tonight we've got the last two quarter-finals. Mark Allen and Noppen Senkom will be on the main table. And table 2, and we'll have commentary on Disky at Bingham. Oh, well, that's probably the best shot in the last hour, actually. Terrific pot.
That was wonderfully timed.
Nine.
Play something good. He's on this one.
Seventeen.
Now there's a red that goes to the right corner. I think he's trying to just land on.
$24.
Still 7.
Came out looking very confident in the opening frame, which he dominated.
$32.
And he's remained confident, but he's not quite making his shots. And Xiao Guodong, having won that very scrappy third frame, well placed here now with this black to lead 3-1 at the interval. A much quicker frame. Not flawless, given Xiao Guodong a 2-frame advantage. What a run he's had, having been
40.
in that sort of journeyman category, I suppose, for much of his career. Suddenly broke through this season, won the Wuhan Open. Semi-finals at the International Championship, runner-up at the Champion of Champions, which of course is all elite players. And here in another big ranking event.
48. $55. 56.
2024, the year that Xiao Guodong really came of age as a player, and it's not done yet. Still a trophy up for grabs at the end of the week, and despite the odd wobble here and there this afternoon, he's in a very strong position as the players prepare for the interval.
63.
Brecel has not made a half century yet. 47 his highest break.
64.
Yeah, I mean, I think Luca has not really recovered from missing that very easy brown at the end of that tortuously long
71.
third frame. You know, it was over the pocket. You know, there's an argument
72.
that this should be something like a 2-2 on the balance of play, but the idea, I'm sure he can get himself organised when they resume. But what he has seen here is that Xiao Guodong has started to play like he was in the earlier round.
Guodong could play to leave it on. You know, he could really. I know the pink was safe,
81.
so there's work to do, but could really. But the fact is, he didn't. And this is the response from Xiao, looking good for a century. And suddenly he goes to the
84.
dressing room feeling good.
88. $93.
Yeah, nicely controlled break this.
99.
The black for his 26th century of what's been a glorious season thus far for Xiao Guodong, and it's far from over. And his week in Edinburgh is far from over on this evidence. Luca Brecel leaving his cue in the arena as they head off to the interval. It's Xiao Guodong with that 106 who holds